All right, y'all, we are back with another video. And before we start, please put prayers for Donald Trump in the comments section. We must protect President Trump at all times. Now, after y'all see this video, I can't see how in the world would anybody want to vote for Kamala Harris after this. All this woman do is laugh. Everything is funny to this woman. Everything is funny. She take nothing serious. She's the border czar, which you got MSNBC and CNN. They trying to cover up for her by saying that Joe Biden didn't ever appoint her as the border czar. Yes, he did. But yet they sitting over there trying to lie for her. Everybody already know that Kamala Harris is a liar. All this woman trying to do is raise taxes. She supports murderers and all that type of stuff. She's trying to defund the police. This woman is trying to do harm to this country where she has already done, her and Joe Biden. So Donald Trump already gonna have his hands full when he get in the White House trying to fix everything Kamala and Joe Biden have destroyed. So without further ado, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. That way you can stay up to date with everything that's going on. Like I said before, after watching this, I can't see how anybody can support this woman. All right. So let's go ahead and let's dive straight into it, y'all. Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Alright, so we've all seen it. We've all seen the propaganda wave coming out of the left-wing media. They're trying to rewrite history, or more specifically, they're trying to rewrite Kamala Harris's history.
Yep.
All of a sudden, Kamala Harris is a brand new woman. She's the very best with an unimpeachable record. Yeah, where did that come from? That's the question I'm asking myself. You know, just in a matter of months, we went from CNN declaring Kamala Harris the worst vice president ever, that's basically sabotaging Joe Biden's ability to get reelected. We went so quickly from that to now I guess Kamala Harris is Obama version 2.0, just a different gender. Well, it's an interesting strategy, I'll give them that. It's the neutralizer from Men in Black that wipes your memory, or some sort of wacky attempt at Star Wars trickery using the Force. You will forget everything that you knew about Kamala Harris. She is reborn as the greatest thing ever. Well, you tried it, nice try, Democrats, but let's just interject with reality for a little bit, shall we? Let's do a walk through memory lane and have a conversation about who Kamala Harris really is as a candidate, as a politician. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so let's just not waste any time. We're currently living through a cost of living crisis. People are concerned about making ends meet. I'm sure what's on a lot of people's mind is maybe getting a tax break, easing the bureaucratic burden and letting people get back on their feet. Well, where does Kamala Harris stand on taxes?
So these are some of the ways, but we've got to increase the corporate tax rate. We also have to increase taxes for the top 1%. And that part of that is going to be about repealing that tax bill that they just passed. And also looking at estate taxes are going to have to go up.
Yeah, she's pretty much as far left as they come. Arguing for increased personal taxes, corporate taxes, estate taxes, I mean, you name it, she wants to tax it. Kamala Harris is the most far left of liberal.
Oh my
In fact,
God.
she was rated as such. In 2019, she was rated the most liberal senator by GovTrack, but of course they deleted that part from their website.
Vice President Harris, in 2019, GovTrack, which covers legislation and voting records, referred to then Senator Kamala Harris as that year's most liberal senator.
Absolutely freaking pathetic. Kamala Harris is as far left as they come. Now, of course, that tends to not be so popular in a general election setting. Usually that's only in vogue during the Democrat primary process, where you need to appeal to green-haired, fuzzy armpit, septum-ringed leftoids. Then, of course, toning it down during the general, you know, most people don't want a far-left socialist as the next president of the United States. And of course, Democrats have been running away from that label. But I don't know, what I'm seeing here is pretty leftist. In fact, I think it might even go beyond that, probably into the territory of Marxist. Here's Kamala Harris going on the record, claiming that she's not for equality, no, she's for equity, forcing outcomes through the power of government.
It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution. Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. We are proud of the fact that equity is one of our guiding principles. Proud of the fact that we understand Equality is important, but not everybody starts out on the same base.
Not only is Kamala Harris left-wing, Kamala Harris is a borderline communist. And not in the hyperbolic sense, oh, she's a communist. No, a literal communist. This is Marxism, and we simply cannot let the leftist media bury this stuff, because that's exactly what the leftist media is trying to do. They're trying to bury the truth.
Yep.
But they're totally absurd fake news fact checks. Here's WCCO, CBS News, Minnesota. Trump falsely accuses Harris of donating to Minnesota Freedom Fund, bailing out dangerous criminals. What a ridiculous claim, especially coming from WCCO, considering these clowns back in 2022 literally asked her about it.
I want to ask you, the Minnesota GOP is holding a press conference this afternoon to criticize you for your support a couple of years ago, before you were the vice president, for something called the Minnesota Freedom Fund that was really set up to help those who were arrested in the aftermath of the George Floyd riots, help them get out. It's since been sort of morphed into something else and has been used to help people get out who've been accused of many other crimes. Do you have any thoughts about this?
Well, first of all, I am a child of parents who marched for civil rights in the 1960s in America. And I have always been and will always be a supporter of peaceful protests. Many peaceful protests over the history of our country have led to an expansion of rights and an expansion of civil rights. So that's where I stand on peaceful protest.
Now, of course, it's another fake news semantics fact check. She didn't actually donate to the fund. No, she just promoted it on her Twitter.
I mean, after just watching some of this, how can anybody want to support this woman? This woman is talking about raising taxes, raising state taxes. She's worried about, trying to help murderers get out of jail. I mean, how in the world? And people keep saying, well, they trying to use the race card. They want people to vote for Kamala because she's black. Kamala is not even black. The woman is not even black. And let's just say, even if she was, that don't mean you vote for somebody because of their skin color. We vote because we want to know, okay, what's your goal? What's your policies going to be? What is you going to stop? That's what we voting for. We ain't voting for skin color. This mess like this right here has to come to an end. This is just crazy. This woman is sitting here talking about raising state taxes and stuff. I mean, come on. I can't see how in the world people can't see this. And you can ask like a certain person, they're like, well, I'm just going to vote for her because she's black. I don't know what her policies is. I don't know what she's going to do. I'm just going to vote for her because she's black, when a woman is not even black. If that's the reason you talking about choosing her. This woman is far left. Kamala Harris has already destroyed this country right along with Joe Biden, like she destroyed California. What do you think she's going to do as president? If she did a terrible job as a senator, as the VP, don't you think she's going to be even worse being a president? All this woman do is laugh. She take nothing serious. The man asked her a simple question. Have you been to the border? We've been to the border. He said, no, have you been to the border? And she just make a funny statement after that. I haven't been to Europe either. He didn't ask you about Europe. He asked you about the border. This woman don't care about she's open to letting illegal immigrants in. She want that to happen. She literally said she want that to happen. Leave it open. Let them come in. I mean, come on, man.
Absolutely idiotic. That's essentially the same thing. When you promote something as an influencer or as a politician, celebrity, or public individual, let's say you're sponsored by a company and you're promoting said company and then a bunch of people go and buy it, you're contributing to that company in some form of value, even if you're not giving them money literally by PayPaling them $500. In fact, you're probably doing more with that influence than you would actually personally donating. But of course, they think we're stupid and don't understand that. And now they they think we're stupid enough to believe that Kamala Harris is a moderate who's going to be the right person for the job when it comes to fixing all of these problems. Yeah, except for most of these problems are caused by Kamala Harris. She's the border czar, and look at the chaos she's created at the southern border. What's the idea now? Vote for Kamala Harris to fix the southern border? Or no, how about vote for Kamala Harris to fix the economy and the inflation issue? Yeah, you mean Kamala Harris, who in many cases was the key vote behind a lot of this massive inflation triggering spending. She's the vice president who comes in and breaks the tie, allowing all the inflationary spending to run rampant. Yeah, vote for Kamala Harris to fix inflation.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
What's the next argument? Vote for Kamala Harris to fix the crime issue? Top cop Kamala Harris, hey, she was a prosecutor. She's gonna take care of the crime issue. Yeah, only one problem with that. She was the top cop prosecutor in San Francisco. Kamala Harris, the top cop, wants to defund the police.
So then, if you're for overhauling, where do you stand on defund the police?
Look, right. So here's the thing. Defund the police. The issue behind it is that we need to reimagine how we are creating safety. And when you have many cities that have 1/3 of their entire city budget focused on policing, we know that is not the smart way and the best way or the right way to achieve safety.
What?
For too long, the status quo thinking has been you get more safety by putting more cops on the street. Well, that's wrong.
Kamala Harris, the top cop, is totally okay with San Francisco's, in my view, unconstitutional sanctuary city status.
Oh my God.
What is your position on San Francisco as a sanctuary city?
I support our sanctuary law, and I also recognize that we got to a place that became highly publicized where we strayed from it, and so we needed to get back on track.
Yeah, top cop Kamala Harris is gonna clean up the streets by getting rid of cash bail.
I've been a leader in the United States Senate on what we need to do to get rid of the cash bail system in America. And why? Because I know the system from the inside. And I know that when we are talking about the issue of bail, the fact is that there are people sitting in jail every day in America for days, weeks, months, even years, waiting to go to trial simply because they can't afford to pay the money to bail.
So Kamala Harris is worried about people who committed crimes that's sitting in jail. She worried about no cash bail to try to find a way to get, more likely murderers and all type of people who done did like crazy things that they shouldn't have done. And she worried about no cash bail so she can find a way to get these people out of jail. This woman is ridiculous. I mean, how can you vote for this? I need make it make sense. I don't care how much people be like, well, I don't like Donald Trump. Put your don't like to the side and look at Donald Trump policies against hers. Look what Donald Trump plan on doing once he get in office. I'm going to say once he get in office because I believe Donald Trump is going to win. I really believe that. Put his policies beside her policies, and you will see which one. Just put it to the side that you don't like Donald Trump, that's fine. You don't like him, that's cool. But look at his policies. His policies is going to help you better. He's going to help you better. Kamala ain't trying to help nobody. This woman trying to raise your taxes and all type of stuff. She worried about trying to get killers and murderers and all this, all out of jail and stuff. She worried about that. No cash bail. What about no tax on tips? What about that?
Out.
Give me a freaking
Just crazy.
break, please. Kamala Harris is going to take care of the illegal migrant crisis. Yeah, no, Kamala Harris thinks that ICE is the KKK.
Are you aware of the perception of many about how the power and the discretion at ICE is being used to enforce the laws? And do you see any parallels?
I do not see any parallels between
I'm talking about perception.
Officers and agents.
I'm talking about perception.
I do not see a parallel between what is constitutionally mandated as it relates to enforcing the law.
Are you aware that there's a perception?
I see no.
Are you aware that there's a
that
perception?
puts ICE in the same category as the KKK? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, you thought I was kidding, didn't you?
Wow.
Excuse me, fact check. Yeah, Kamala was just talking about a perception that ICE is the KKK.
And Donald Trump is right, because he actually said Kamala, is she worse than Biden? I mean, she is literally like far left. Even her own people, even you seen on Jake Tapper, them didn't even like her. I mean, I know I got to keep saying this, but how can you vote for this? How? If I was a person that didn't like Donald Trump, I would still vote for him because his policies are better. Listen to this. Who want their taxes raised? Who want that to happen? Why this woman is okay with letting illegal immigrants across the border and study doing harm to people? We seen it what happened. I don't even have to name what happened. We know what happened. And she is still okay with leaving that border open, letting illegal immigrants into the country. She do not care at all. All she wants from them is their vote.
All right, sure. We know what Kamala Harris is on the issue of illegal migration.
An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal, and we have to correct.
Oh my God. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. Well, if that's the case, then Kamala, what have they been doing to people? I would love to ask you that. They are not a criminal, but yet they came into this country illegally. They came here illegally. Donald Trump said he don't have a problem with immigrants come long as they come legally. But they coming illegally. And you saying, well, it's okay. Even though they come illegally, it's okay. It's not a crime. They good people. That's basically what you're saying.
Course in this conversation.
We know that she's as far left as they come, and she would simply be a disaster for the country. She's a bad combination, be a recipe for disaster. She's a total far left socialist, pro-crime, pro-open border, economically illiterate, run the debt up to infinity and friggin' beyond.
Yep.
She's all that, and, well, she's rather incompetent.
So the United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. And it is an alliance that is strong and enduring. And today, there were several demonstrations of just that point.
We're looking at over 220 million Americans who just in the last several months died. We are in the midst of a public health epidemic that has taken the lives of over 220 million Americans in just the last several months.
That right there is a recipe for disaster, especially if that person happens to be a politician who's totally full of themselves. And
she said 200 and something when it was really 335. This is, I mean, how can, oh my God, bro.
To be hell-bent on power. That is Kamala Harris, the politician, and trust me, that doesn't even begin to scratch the surface. I didn't even bother to go into her prosecutorial record or her legislative record, so it's actually even worse than portrayed here. That's who Kamala Harris is, but the media is trying to gaslight you into thinking that Kamala Harris is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Give me a break, not buying it, won't let them rewrite history. She sucks, game over.
Wow, well, there you go right there, man. Another great video by Liberal High Mind. Make sure y'all go over and show him some support, dropping them videos for us. But man, after seeing this right here, I can't see how anybody can, vote for that woman. I know I done said that about 7 or 8 times, but it just keep coming to mind. After every time I just see her say a stupid statement and say dumb things, I'm like, come on now. Come on. She did 220 million when it was 330. But you want this person who don't know what she's doing. She literally on video saying, I have no idea on how to run the country. So a person that has no idea on how to run the country, that's who you want to vote for to put in charge of everybody? Put in charge of this country? Oh, no. Not going to happen. But y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about it. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it, especially the ones that made it to the end. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.